It's Iron Maiden right here on your Classic Metal Show with These Colors Don't Run. And what is it about Iron Maiden music that is just, you can't help but like it?
It's just good, man. There's nothing more to it. It's just good.
Yeah. I know. Every time I hear a Maiden tune minus the Blaze era.
Come on.
You can't help but stop and listen to it.
Come on. Future Real?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Virtual
No?
X? No.
Well, the X Factor was god-awful. Future Real wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but...
did you really hate it? Or how many times did you listen to it? I'm just curious.
Probably a half a dozen at the most.
Really? And you just gave up on it?
Well, you know what the thing is that I know there's a lot of Diano fans out there. You know, you get the Jackal type people out there. No Diano, no Maiden. You know,
man.
You know, one of those guys. But Bruce Dickinson is just quintessential Iron Maiden.
Well, that's what the identity is.
Certainly. I mean, just that combination of Bruce Dickinson and what Maiden as a band brings to the table. I mean, there is just nothing better.
Yeah, they're good. Are you excited about the double disc?
I don't know what to think. I mean, the last record was just...
Yeah, last record sucked.
It was just long for the sake of being long.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I mean... I don't remember anything good on that record.
Well, the thing is that all I remember about that record is that the intros were just really Laser Wolf.
Right.
You know, that's all it was, is that they just had these extended intros, and it's just like, what are you doing? Are you just doing this just to extend the songs or the record or what?
There's a couple really long ones on the new one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mind the long songs like Rime of the Ancient Mariner or whatever, you know, because of all the change-ups. But don't just make a long song just to make a long song.
Now, there's two. I think I saw that there's two, maybe three on the new double disc that are over 13 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
I don't mind the long songs as long as they're interesting. You know, when they do the change ups and they slow it down and speed it up, and they go through different arrangements and things, and it makes sense to do it, I can get into it because it almost tells a story.
Right.
But if you're just doing it for the sake of having a long song, it gets boring.
I'm not going to lie. I think Rime of the Ancient Mariner is too long.
Well, it is a long song. I agree.
That middle part where everything goes to a stop before it starts picking up again.
Right.
Cut all that out.
Before who was it on your, I think it was on your Facebook or something about the new Iron Maiden. It said, "Let the galloping begin" or something.
Yeah, I think it was probably me.
I think somebody commented like "let the galloping begin" or something.
Right.
It's so funny. But I love Iron Maiden. I love their records, you know, but just don't do something just to do something.
Right.
You know, have a reason for it.
Yeah. I hope it's good, because Final Frontier was junk.
Yeah.
Definitely not their best work.
I agree. But I like Maiden. There's just something just classic about their sound, and you know, obviously with their multiple guitar attack.
Right.
You know, I'm playing, you know, instead of playing in tandem, they actually play different parts, and it's just I don't know, their combination is just a good combination. Very unique.
If it wasn't for Yannick, though, I don't know that I'd be a fan.
That's true.
You know.
That's true. Well, the reason I played that, obviously, is that this week, after many decades of debate,
right,
the country has finally folded on the whole Confederate flag deal.
Right.
I don't know about you, but today I just did a little bit of Google research.
Okay.
Just to see where you could purchase a Confederate flag.
Yeah.
And all of the retailers, not including the big ones, be it the eBays or the Amazons or whatever, sold out.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Either they're sold out or they're no longer carrying them.
Yeah. So, but they'll be replenished shortly.
Yeah, of course they will.
Sure, China will jump right in.
Well, of course, somebody's going to capitalize on this. And the only thing that went through my mind when I was doing a search to see who had these for sale and where you could buy one and, whatever. Mm-hmm. The only thing that in history that repeats itself, and this is not, on the same level or the same scale, but the same philosophy.
Okay.
Prohibition.
Where what? Where the flag, where it was out and then it comes back?
Well, no, it's just that when they tell you can't have something,
sure,
that's when you want it more.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody out there, be it any retailer who wants to take the chance of being called, God forbid, racist for selling it, they're going to make a lot of money.
Well, I will. I'll tell you that now. I'll set up fucking racistconfederate.com and I'll sell Confederate everything.
Right.
If somebody wants to produce the products for me.
Well, you know who the only one that I found that still has product, and this makes me laugh only because they became a target this week as well.
Who?
Former Dukes of Hazzard actor.
Oh, Cooter.
Cooter. He's got a store out there called Cooter's Store or something like that.
Okay.
And he sells all kinds of, Confederate memorabilia out there and whatnot.
Right.
But I went to his website and he still has all the flags and everything listed on there. But everywhere that I went and looked, either the Confederate page was no longer in existence.
Right.
Or completely sold out.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Cowards.
Yeah. So again, give me your honest stance on the whole Confederate flag thing as far as having the ability to purchase one or even fly one in front of your house.
Well, you're allowed still.
Well, I understand, but people won't do it. This goes back to the last conversation we had,
right?
That if they're afraid of what other people think.
Right.
So people won't do it. Even if they did it prior, a lot of people won't do it now because they're afraid.
Right.
Afraid that somebody's going to tag them as a racist because you do it.
It's fucking stupid.
So give me your, Chris Aiken, thoughts on it. If, say, for instance, you decided you wanted to fly one. I know you would because I know you. But I'm talking about your social view, how you perceive people to react to this.
Oh, people are they're gonna treat this like the new N-word.
Exactly.
It is nigger.
Now, okay, I'm going to agree with you there.
It is definitely, the Confederate flag is saying nigger now. That is, so basically, it's going to be reduced to the same place that you could say nigger fucking in life, in your little circle of private friends, because you're not going to be there. The people that are going to be flying this fucking thing, and I'm not even looking at right now. I find right now to be silly. Right now you got everybody that's going to buy Confederate everything, just to make their point. I'm talking 6 months from now when nobody gives a shit anymore.
Right. Once it dies down. Yeah.
Once it dies down, it's going to become the big secret. It's going to be the thing that the fucking redneck guy pulls out of his fucking basement. It'll be like the back wall of his paneled basement. We'll have a big old flag on there and it'll stay in the basement, and people come over and say, yeah, good to see you got that before they made it illegal there, Butch.
Right.
That's what it's going to be.
Sure.
And it's going to be like, just like telling black jokes and telling, all that other shit. It's going to be the thing that's fucking privately.
It's the underground dirty little secret now.
Yeah. And honestly, if you ask me, what they do when you make something like that into something more than it is, you actually make it.
Yeah, well, you empower
make it more dangerous.
Yeah, you empower it is what you're doing, which is why I look at it as prohibition. Mm-hmm. Because you weren't allowed to legally purchase and drink alcohol.
Sure.
But it became an underground movement, and a lot of people did it, and a lot of money was made from it.
Right.
Which was the rise of the gangsters and Al Capone.
Well, it became uber dangerous to oppose it.
Exactly.
So now it's going to be, now it's going to rise up as a true symbol of, where there's a lot of history, and you've seen as much as I have all week, where everybody's throwing their fucking historical blah, blah, blah about the fucking Confederate flag, and how it wasn't a racist thing. It's a symbol of war, and it's a symbol of conquest, and it's a symbol of
rebellion,
separating from the government, and blah, 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 blah. I read all that shit. Glad to hear it. You know what it's going to be now? Now it's going to be the guys that are fucking gassing up fucking crosses and getting ready to fucking move on a black neighborhood.
Yep.
On a black church. Because now it's going to be for real.
Now you've enraged the underground movement.
Well, now you've given it a meaning.
You have.
Nobody gave a fuck. It's been, when was the Dukes of Hazzard? 76?
In the 70s into the early 80s.
So 70, so we'll say 1980, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
80 is 35 years ago.
Right.
For 35 fucking years, not a goddamn soul has had a problem, one, with the fucking General Lee being at every car show in every city in this country every year. Every single year, there's been a General Lee at a car show. True?
That is absolutely true, and there's actually a automotive manufacturer out there that sold replica General Lees.
Yeah. So no one has had a problem with this for 35 years. And nobody has fucking run for cover from slavery when they saw the General Lee coming. But now all of a sudden it's fucking needs to be banned. Warner Brothers banned it. They took them all the products off the shelf. They're painting over the car. It's like, now what are you doing? You're empowering those that want to have that hatred to have that fucking hatred.
Yeah. Now you've legitimized the hatred.
Yeah. Which was a small percentage.
Yeah, a very small percentage.
And now I guarantee you, any one of how many people are flying a fucking Nazi flag now?
Nobody.
Just fucking uber racists. Right?
Absolutely. And that's a very, very, very fringe group that would do that.
You're talking 50,000 people in this country, maybe?
You're talking 1/100th of 1%.
Yeah. Well, now all those people have a new symbol.
Exactly.
And they have a fresh death that the media put on that symbol. The media generated that fucking outrage. Not this kid, and I was making jokes all week long about this shit. That kid was wearing a fucking Gold's Gym t-shirt. So I guess we should fucking ban Gold's Gym, right?
Yeah, because he was flying the Gold's Gym t-shirt logo.
Yeah, he's repping that. So apparently if you fucking represent from Gold's Gym, you kill black people.
Right.
And he was wearing a watch. So I guess now if you wear a watch, that means that you're going to kill black people.
Right.
Because you're wearing a watch. And I'll bet this fucking kid had an Xbox. What, safe bet there?
Probably.
Or an Xbox or a PlayStation or whatever.
Some kind of a gaming system.
Yeah, and I'll bet you that he had at least one shooting game. Would you think so?
He probably had what's that most popular one now these days?
Not Call of Duty, but it could be Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty or the Grand Theft Auto.
Something like that.
Yeah, one of the two. So now I think we should ban all video games because this kid might have played one.
Sure.
And it never ends. This kid might have seen a Saw movie. He might have watched Mississippi Burning 10 years ago. So we should ban anything that has to do with fucking shootings, right? Where does this all stop? Enough with fucking giving symbolism to nonsense. You want to give symbolism? How about if you look at Dylan fucking Roof and you say, that is the symbol of a fucking maniac that should be murdered. He should be given what he dealt.
Right.
They should put him in a room and they should tell you want to teach these fuckers how to do it. You put them in a room and once a day you go in and you slice a tendon with a fucking straight razor. And every day you find another tendon and you do another slice. And then find another tendon and you do another slice. Until this motherfucker is nothing but pain. Let this fucker realize what kind of fucking pain he fucking caused, and then shoot him in the face and be done with him.
Sure.
And send the message to the next guy that wants to fucking go out there and race kill, that's what you get. You don't fucking go and say, well, now we ban the flag, everybody's going to love each other. What a bunch of fucking stupid motherfucking, easily led, pansy fucking pussies we are as a country.
Yeah, because that's going to solve it. That's going to solve everything, right?
Yeah.
We're taking away your symbol of power. We're taking away your sword, man.
You can no longer hate.
Because now that we've taken away your flag, you're done for. You're toast.
Yeah, you're going to have to be nice because we took your symbol of hate. Guess what? Nobody has ever killed for a flag. I take that back. People have killed for a flag.
Yeah, in a war situation.
Senselessly killed.
Yeah, they didn't do random acts of violence for a flag.
Dylan Roof did not set out to fucking whack these goddamn people in this church because of the fucking Confederate flag, you fucking idiots. Why don't you look at the real source of it? How he was raised, what he was reading, what he was learning. That's why this fucker killed these people. Not because he found a Confederate flag. So what if he used the symbol of it? Then fucking wake up if that's such a bad symbol and fucking profile. If that's such a bad symbol in where was he at? South Carolina?
Yeah, South Carolina, Charleston.
If anybody that has that flag is so fucking bad, why weren't they profiling this kid that had this flag? Because it wasn't a fucking problem. And that is the real deal. It's still not a fucking problem. It's just a scapegoat to take everybody's attention off the fucking TPP, to be honest.
Right.
But, we got to fucking be stirred up. And the big fucking cocksucking pussies that we are, we got to be all offended and outraged and appalled. Again.
Yeah, exactly.
We're fucking outraged.
Shocked.
It had a flag.
You're shocked.
Oh, I'm terribly shocked.
Shocked, outraged, and offended.
He murdered with this flag. What a bunch of fucking faggots. This country is made of faggots. If you had any statement at all about the fucking Confederate flag this week, you're a faggot. It's that simple. You're a fucking pussy. Because your assumption in the world that you're going to stop hate by taking away a symbol of it is fucking stupid. People don't hate because of flags. People hate because they hate. Hate isn't a name. Hate is a thing that has been there forever. That's the thing that drives me the most crazy is these fucking libtard dick fucks, they fucking think that somehow, some way, if they just take enough symbols and they just keep pushing their agenda, that everybody's going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya together.
Well, again, it all comes down to I'm going to legislate your behavior.
It's never happened in the history of civilization.
It doesn't work.
There has always been hatred. Always. There has always been, whether it's in all the way back to the Egyptians, you had hatred amongst the people. You had class discrimination amongst the people. You had slavery amongst the people. You had murder amongst the people. You had rape amongst the people. And then you move forward to the Roman times, and you had that and all that stuff, and the Vikings and the Crusade times, and all these times, one thing is common. There was always hatred of something. And there's never not going to be. And to try and say, well, we're going to pass this law, or we're going to pressure this company, or we're going to do this, you don't do anything but
incite it.
The hatred.
You just rile it up and incite it even more, and you give it power.
I promise you that all these people that are really, truly upset about the Confederate flag today hadn't thought about the Confederate flag as anything at all in 20 years.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I actually can tell a story about that, but first we'll take a phone call. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill, fuckies. Steve Jackson from South Carolina.
Steve Jackson. Here's a guy who's in the South, close to where this maniac went into a church and needlessly killed 9 people. under the banner of hate. So being that you're in the region, give us your thoughts and your viewpoint.
Yeah, I live about 4 hours away from Charleston, and what I like the most is that, about 3 years ago when the guy shot up the theater in Colorado, there was no movement to try and ban Batman and the Joker.
That's right.
Considering he was a fan of Batman and the Joker, yet, how convenient. But the thing is, the State House, which is in a different city than Charleston, it's in Columbia, South Carolina, there's been, 15 years ago they moved the flag, which was just a battle flag. They took, well, actually, it's the one that we commonly think of.
Don't try to soften it just by calling it just a battle flag. It's a flag of hate and white supremacy and discrimination. It's Steve Jackson. Don't come in here and try to soft coat this.
Just call it the nigger hating symbol.
It was the flag of the Army of Northern Virginia. That was on the State House dome. Well, there was a big stink about that in 2000, NAACP boycotting us and everything. So they removed that and built a civil or Confederate memorial on the State House grounds. And this has the battle flag, which is square in design. And that's what everybody's in a stink about right now. And that's been there for 15 years. There's still an NAACP boycott on the state of South Carolina, but no, I think you guys, you kind of don't get it because you're not down here. People in the South aren't really as uptight about it as it may seem.
I'm not saying that the people in the South are that uptight about it. I'm saying the people that fucking run the corporations are uptight about it.
Oh, yeah, well, fuck them. I mean, it is so knee-jerk. It's like, wow, really? Like, and then they're taking it out of the Civil War games on the Apple store. Yeah. Like, really? Come on, man. But, I just wanted to chime in. Of course, nothing's changed with me.
Well, Steve, the thing that you bring up here is that when it affects the bottom line dollar, that's when people get upset about it. Or I shouldn't say people, I should say corporations get upset about it. If they think it's going to affect the bottom line, that's when they change their tune on it, whether they fully agree with the issue or not. If it means that they're going to make one less dollar by supporting something or not supporting something, that's what changes their tune.
Right. I mean, the thing, like, with Walmart, I mean, the only thing I could think of, like, in an actual Walmart store was, like, a Leonard Skinner Greatest Hits CD that might have it in the background. I mean, you can't really, like, go into a Walmart and buy a flag. I mean, maybe online you could. I'm not sure. But, I mean, Amazon and eBay, that blew my mind because they used to have tons of stuff on there. I've looked through it, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. But, it's kind of weird. Yeah. But, it's the fad, the hot button issue right now. Nobody will give a shit in 2 months. Something new.
Well, you're right. As soon as the next transgender person comes out, or somebody claiming to be a pigmy that stands 6'7", or whatever the hot button issue of that day is, that's when it will go away and nobody will pay attention to it, and then slowly but surely the retailers who retail these Confederate collectibles or whatever you want to call it, memorabilia, they'll start putting it back out for sale again. But right now everybody's pulled it off their shelves because, God forbid, you're lumped in as a racist for retailing this merchandise.
Right. Well, you know who's probably still selling it? It's probably sold out like hotcakes by now. I was down in Myrtle Beach actually the week before this incident happened, and Myrtle Beach is a pretty famous tourist destination on the coast of South Carolina. There's lots of mom and pop, like, T-shirt, souvenir stores right there on the little strip. Tons of bikinis, T-shirts, you name it. I actually bought a Rebel Flag tank top. And what's really pissed me off, though, as far as corporate America, NASCAR. I know nobody on the show list watches racing, but me and my buddies go down to the Darlington race every year, and they're going to try to stamp out, Confederate flags at races or whatever the hell. What are you going to take them off people's campers and shit? Really? NASCAR they really need to watch what the hell they're doing, because, wow, they need to really consider who their fan base is.
That's right. They'll be gathering their motorhomes and pulling a yeehaw on everybody.
Yeah. So I was talking about that tank top I bought. I plan on wearing it proudly at this year's Darlington
That's
race.
right. Fly those stars and bars proud. Don't give a fuck what anybody says. Somebody says, "Hey, redneck, why you wearing that T-shirt?" And you say, "Shut the fuck up, nigger. I can wear whatever I want."
I imagine I won't be the only one. It's a common sight down there anyway, just in campgrounds. But yeah, it's a bunch of ridiculousness. But not everybody who flies the flag is prejudiced. Of course, the media has drummed that up over the years and made it something it's not. But what are you going to do?
All they're doing is giving it power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me personally, it's a symbol of fuck government oppression and Southern pride. That's all it is to me.
That's right. It means biscuits and gravy to me, pal.
Right. But I guess I'm going to get off here and do something. Yeah.
All right, Google. Steve.
Fuck you, pal. Hand job. Stars and bars. Hee-yaw.
Stars and bars.
Stars and bars.
Well, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but I agree with you that taking it away, it's like we're just children, You can't have this anymore. You've misused it. Charlie Daniels, obviously somebody from the South. The devil went down to Georgia.
Right.
Leonard Skinner, Drive-By Truckers, a lot of all these Southern bands, Marshall Tucker Band. They've all embraced the Southern heritage and the Confederate flag.
Sure.
And nobody ever had any problem with it. Most of these bands have been around for 4 decades or more.
Right.
And and when they were flying it during their concerts, nobody said racist.
Yeah, Skinner, when the last time I saw them, they had that big light board that was like the whole screen thing in the back. Yeah. The whole thing was a Confederate flag.
Of course it was. And nobody was screaming racist.
No.
Nobody was screaming hate.
Of course, on the Leonard Skinner tour, I think there was 14 black people that showed up for the whole tour.
Sure. Nobody was screaming, white supremacist.
No, all they were screaming was Freebird!
Exactly. So nobody was buying into that whole frenzy.
No, of course not.
So Charlie Daniels wrote an op-ed piece, which I thought he kind of encapsulated the whole thing, and he did it very well. And I'm going to read this, and then we'll move on to the more important issues.
Okay.
But anyway, Charlie Daniels is up on his soapbox again, this time to share his views on the debate that's currently raging over the Confederate flag.
Mm-hmm.
The racially motivated mass murders that took the lives of 9 people in Charleston, South Carolina last week have ignited a new and very widespread debate about the Confederate flag and its place in American society. South Carolina's Governor Nikki Haley has called for the flag to be removed from the State House amid the rush of other national figures calling for other instances of the flag to be removed, while a number of retailers have made the decision to pull the Confederate flag-themed merchandise from their stock. Now, I'm sure you're aware of this, Chris, because you're very politically astute, but a current presidential candidate, i.e. Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton and her husband, 2-time presidential President Bill Clinton, established Confederate Flag Day in Arkansas. Are you? So I don't see. How come this wasn't an issue when he was the governor of Arkansas? How come this wasn't a racist or a white supremacist or hate issue when he made Confederate Flag Day an official day in Arkansas?
Well, because it was okay then.
Oh, why was it okay then and not okay now?
Because people were, not such uptight fucking fags.
Oh, I see. So now
people
that
actually just lived and let live and didn't fall for the fucking media's stupidity.
Sure. So now that Hillary is running for president,
yes.
Now is she going to distance herself from this all of a sudden after 40 years?
She's probably running from the color red.
Yeah.
I see her wear red or black the entire campaign.
Yep. These colors don't run.
Yeah, but she does. Just on those fucking bad fucking cankles of hers.
Sure. Daniels frequently writes about his strong political opinions in the section of this site called The Soapbox. And in a recent post on Thursday, June 26, he shared at length his feelings about the flag and its complicated history.
Okay.
Before I go any further with this piece, I wish to express my love and admiration for the people of Charleston who have, in the face of immense pain, shown a restraint and common sense seldom seen in tragic situations involving race, Daniels writes.
Who was he? The people,
the people of the people of Charleston, South Carolina.
I got to agree with them there. Those people, especially the families of the victims. Wow, were they fucking the opposite of Ferguson?
Exactly.
I mean, bravo to them. No fucking ridiculousness, no rioting, no fucking acting like fucking idiots. They settled into what they believe in, and in their case it was prayer, and they moved forward.
Yeah, and they stood by it, and they practiced what they preached.
Yeah, they acted like fucking good human beings.
Right.
So bravo to them.
So he goes on to share a story about how a man once misidentified the flag on the front of his piano player's piano as the Confederate flag and got offended for no reason, saying, of course, the situation concerning the Confederate flag in Charleston is much more serious situation with justifiable feelings that go back a century and a half, and the problem has the potential to be a racially divisive one. The bottom line is that the flag in question represents one thing to some people and another thing to others, which is true.
It is true.
Daniels clarifies that he does not see it as his place to tell people in South Carolina or anywhere else what flags they can fly. But I truly hate to see the opportunists move in and create a symbol of hate out of a simple piece of cloth.
Yeah.
He adds, of course, we know most politicians are going to chime in and glean whatever political hay that is available. But in my book, the corporate rush to rid their shelves of anything with the Confederate battle flag on it is purely hypocrisy. If they felt that deeply about the subject, they should have done something years ago. And I notice they have no problem accepting the profits from the merchandise they still have on hand.
Right.
Daniels goes on to recount his own experience growing up in the South, where he says there was a widespread feeling at the time that Northerns looked down on Southerners. The country legend says that as a result, the Confederate battle flag was a sign of defiance, a sign of pride, a declaration of geographical area that you were proud to be born from.
Right.
That's all it is to me, and that's all it will ever be to me, he states. I can't speak for all, but I know in my heart that most Southerners feel the same way. Daniel writes that he has no desire to see the return of the Confederacy, and he believes that people of all races deserve the same rights and advantages. He sees the flag issue as an issue of states' rights. I feel that the controversy desperately needs to be settled without federal interference and input from race baiters like Al Sharpton.
Right.
That it's up to the individual states as to what they allow to be part of their public image and what the majority of the people of any given state want, in my opinion, be their policy, he says.
Yeah.
To those who question his sincerity, Daniels points out that he's lived through the times of deep racial prejudice and Jim Crow laws. When the courts were tilted against the black man, the segregated educational system was inferior and opportunities for the black man to advance were almost non-existent, adding that he formed his own views out of his experience and disgust.
Okay.
I hold no ill feelings and have no axes to grind with my brothers and sisters of any color. The same God made us all. The same God will judge us all. And I pray that he will intervene in the deep racial divide we have in this nation and make each person, black or white, see each other for what we truly are. That is, being human beings. No better, no worse, he says. It's time to do away with labels: Caucasian American, African American, Asian American, Native American, and so forth. Daniel finishes with, how about just simple American?
Yeah. Or Dockin American.
There you go. So anyway, just thought he brought a very simplistic perspective to the whole situation.
Yeah. The only problem is now the states' rights don't mean shit,
It doesn't.
as we learned this week.
As we learned this week, which leads us right into the real meat of tonight's topical fare.
Of course.
So this week, as if you follow the news, and I hope you do.
Yeah. Well, there's no way you've avoided this.
Well, some people do. They like to bury their head in the sand, and they don't want to pay attention to anything. Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, I'm kind of a newer phone caller.
Okay.
All right, well, and I'm kind of confused because I have a stepfather who's black, but I listen to Leonard Skinner,
Okay.
and I also, so I'm confused. Am I a racist?
Well, hang on a minute. Before you continue, take a nice deep breath. Relax. We're all friends here. You can talk to us.
Are you a
Okay.
racist?
So who are you and where are you from?
Well, I'm from Michigan,
Okay.
so that means I am a Yankee, right?
Does that mean you're a Yankee, or just you categorize yourself as a Yankee? Or wait a minute. Let me put it in current speak. Do you identify as a Yankee?
Well, I don't know because my biological father is actually from Louisiana, but I was brought up in Michigan.
Well, how do you identify? Do you identify as a Southerner, or do you identify as a Yankee? Because that's important these days. That holds a lot of water.
Well, personally, I think that I'm a Michigander.
Okay,
So I guess that would make me a Yankee.
Okay, so you identify as a Yankee. Okay, well, now we established that. All right, go ahead.
Or actually, I'm kind of a Detroit Lion. So, but whatever.
Do you identify as a lion?
Moogle might want to meet you.
Oh, well, fuck that.
All right, go ahead. I'm just fucking with you, but go ahead.
No, I know. I just this whole conversation that we're having in America is driving me fucking crazy.
Agree with that. It's ridiculous.
So, yeah, I mean, I literally have. I'm a white guy. from
Racist!
Michigan.
Racist!
Yeah, right. But my stepdad is black.
Okay.
And I've grown up to love him.
Wait a minute.
I mean, how could I possibly
Father?
love a black
There's no
guy?
such thing in the black community.
So that's why I'm so confused with the rhetoric in America.
Are you?
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
All right. Are you really confused, or are you just playing that up?
Well, what do you think?
I think you're playing it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
anyway, regardless,
Of course.
But
I think he's lying that there's a such thing as a black stepfather.
he probably ran away from his original family. But anyway,
You know, I honestly, my stepfather, he was a tunnel rat in Vietnam, and Jesus, what was I was listening to one of your shows. Anyway, it's just bullshit that we have to be going through this conversation in America now, and I appreciate that you guys are so honest about it. So,
well, we're honest because we're not corporately sponsored. Now, if there was bucks behind us and they said we couldn't talk that way, you wouldn't be hearing this kind of honesty.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because we could be easily bought. How much money do you have?
How much money? Hey, $500.
$500, man. They should ban that flag. Get rid of it. Let me tell you my PayPal you can send that money to.
Right. So how is it your stepfather, who is black, because I absolutely, from today on, I absolutely refuse to allow anyone to say African American or white American, whatever. Everybody's American. How is it that your black father from Louisiana, or stepfather rather, how is it that he became your stepfather from Louisiana when you're in Michigan?
Well, my biological father is from Louisiana.
Okay.
My stepfather is from Detroit.
Oh, I gotcha. So did your mother relocate after your father and she divorced, or what? Or I'm assuming they were married, but you didn't even
my biological mother and father they had me in Minnesota, then relocated to Detroit, and then after years and years, this is kind of funny, he actually left my mom for Mexican. And then my mom met this guy.
So wait a minute, what race is your biological father? White?
White. We're all white. Yeah, we're basically Norwegian.
Yeah, well, from Minnesota, you're part of the Dokken family over there.
Oh yeah, into the fire.
Exactly. All right, so you're Norwegian, and your father left your mother and got involved with a Mexican, and then your mother got involved with a black.
Yes.
All right.
So how does that make me racist?
Well, who's claiming you to be racist? That's the question.
Well, society.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he's white.
Right. I'm white.
I'm
whiter than white. Neeley, I'm whiter than you.
Wow.
All right. Well, let me ask you. Well, let me ask you something. How was your life affected with a mixed couple, as your mother and your stepfather was? I mean, obviously that is a very taboo thing in some circles still, even today. How was your life as a stepchild of a mixed couple?
I learned the blues probably a little better. But I also taught him metal. I mean, because the blues and metal run together.
On Thanksgiving, your mom is really partial to the dark meat, right?
Well, I can't speak for that, dude.
Well, that's about Thanksgiving.
Did she make macaroni and cheese on Christmas?
No, it was all about ham. It's all about the pork.
Okay,
I bet it was.
All right. Now, are they still married?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, my stepdad is one of the best people you'll ever meet.
Sure.
That's why I always hate this fucking conversation that society has, and it's just a bunch of nonsense.
All right, well, I'm curious. Hold on, man. I'm curious. What did as a black man that basically is part of a white family, I guess, I guess that'd be the right term. What did your father think of Ferguson or Baltimore or any of this kind of stuff that is really creating the divide between white and black?
Well, it's individuals. You know, it's not society that's doing it. It's individuals that's doing it, and that's what he thinks. You know, it's just, it's not fucking any one person that's going to tell this Dylan or whoever it is to go kill people. He's doing it himself. It's not us doing it.
You mean it wasn't? It wasn't the Confederate flag that drove him to do that?
Yeah, the Confederate flag did not drive him to the church. So.
Well, how long have you been listening to the Classic Metal Show?
About 6 months. I found you guys right before Christmas.
How did you find us?
I was just sick of local radio, so I googled metal radio, and I found you guys, and you fit right into my pocket, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Big pocket.
Well, we'll take it.
I appreciate everything you guys do. I know it's hard work, and I appreciate what you guys do.
All right. Well, we appreciate your input and your patronage. Thanks for supporting the show.
Thank you. And next time I call in, I'll have to tell you my story about Katie Lane.
Yeah, and your name.
Next time.
Next time. All right. Well, we got something to look forward to now.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, mystery caller.
Let me say, I hope I can do this in order. Fuck you, pal.
You're already wrong.
It's hail and kill. It's hail
and kill. Fuck you. Yeah. Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. Hand job.
Nice.
There you go.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
All right. There's our Michigan caller.
Yeah. We'll call him Mystery Michigan.
Right.
Unless people in the chat room want to give him a name.
Right.
People in the chat room, if you want to give him a name, we'll be happy to take on some of the names that you want to give the mystery caller and potentially see if they fit him.
Well, he definitely had the Michigan accent, though.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, good for him.